Hey, how's it going? It's Cliff Johnson. For all y'all that know, I got a lot of friends, family that may watch this, and people that may not know. I wanted to talk to you what it is to live and grow. Because I was living, but I wasn't growing. I was very complacent. One thing I realized was time is of the essence. And I was walking around and moving around like I had all day to do what I wanted to accomplish, but the only thing was that I wasn't doing nothing I said I was supposed to do. And so I thank God for God. You want to thank God for God, and I thank God for my mentors. I thank God for these because they was able to, the Lord first of all was able to just, sit there and change my life so that I can have an opportunity to do some of the things I'm doing. So I definitely got to give all praise and glory to God to start this whole thing off. This is a continuous vlog, everything you won't get right now, but I share stuff for today and things to come for the future. So this is something that somebody asked me to do. I wanted to do it for my own personal reasons as well, so it just clicked in the spirit. I want to be able to hold myself accountable with the things that I come out here and say. I want to be able to see my progress, that I can maybe one day look back at these tapes and see, what the steps I took and how, trial and error. Some things I may do wrong, but you know what? I have a platform to sit there and judge myself on. So I want to just share with you some of the jewels and gems I learned from my mentors and see if it, and I really believe it has a power to literally change your life if you identify and adapt these things into your life. I'm guaranteeing you your life will change, and change starts with you. First of all, change starts with you. I don't care how bad I want it for you. I don't want it for you to I'm blue in the face, or I sit there almost die or go broke, or try to want it for somebody who don't want it. You gotta want it for yourself. And somebody once told me, it's about time you start loving yourself, and I do love myself. That's a natural response, is that I love myself. Well, you gotta really ask and dig deep and really ask yourself, do I really love myself? And I can say now, standing back, I didn't love myself. I didn't know how to love myself, so how can I love myself if I don't even know how to love? Yeah, try that one out. But so that's really, you got to be able to realize and identify with these things and allow, those to sink in, what need to sink in, and ask yourself some of these questions. But, I want to keep it very quick. I want to, talk on 2 to 3 maybe topics of what it took to get to where I'm at, and what was it that my mentor taught me. And one of the greatest concepts my mentor ever taught me, he said, Cliff, he said, I'm your mentor, I'm going to show you some things, how to be able to be, financial free, how to create assets that you're able to retire in the next few years. And that also, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it clicked. It sounds good. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. He said, listen, let's talk about your past. And I said, wow. I want to talk about the future. I'm ready to be, I'm ready to move forward. I came this far. I want to really focus on my past. Like, listen, your past is probably great. Mine ain't that good. So he's like, nah. He said, listen, because I'm sitting here, I'm gonna pour into you, and what your past is greater than who I am. I said, what you mean? And that was a concept, philosophy I didn't understand. He said, listen, your greatest mentor will always be your past. Wow. I never really thought about it like that. And it took me a while to even, to really look back. And of course, he gave me clarity. And then he said, listen, the person you are today, who was standing in front of my face saying, that you want to be mentored, you want to learn. The only reason why you're in my face has everything to do with what your past is. And I said, yeah, you right. He said, to this degree of, you learn how to do things the right way, and you learn how to do things the wrong way. True indeed, and I know we all can relate to that. So, I know we got to be at the same level on this one right here. So, and so I'm sitting back listening, and so he was saying, well, Cliff, you learn how to do things the wrong way. I'm like, yeah, that's probably 75% of the stuff I did. He said, well, you just do the opposite of everything you did the wrong way. I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good, but once again, it's in the past. He said, well, no, you take everything that you learned, the right and the wrong, you bring it to the table now. You know what you did the wrong way. You know what you did the right way. Do opposite of what you did the wrong way, and now do it the right way, and everything you did the right way, just cultivate that. I said, okay, And so he gave me a list of things, that some areas that I needed to work on. And, I don't want to spend too much time on those areas, but, to sum it all up, we came to the concept of what it's going to take to get to where I need to go. And one of the things he told me was discipline. He said, first of all, you would never be the person that you say you want to be without discipline. I don't care how much passion you got, enthusiasm, because those things are very, 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 very important. I speak all the time about having a passion. A passion is a fire that pushes you through. Oh man, I'm passionate about the things I do. It's from the heart, but passion without discipline leads to corruption. It leads to unfulfillment, so I'm like, I always had to struggle with disciplining myself. He said, well, Cliff, what you need to start doing is discipline yourself in the small areas. Discipline yourself in these small areas. Get a little confidence. He said, write goals down. And write easy goals, goals that you can accomplish. And I said, okay. And this is not something so I started writing down goals and, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it was still the concept of realizing that I need to write what I want out. And allow my non-conscious mind to see these things, and I look at them and I say, all right, I accomplished this, so I'm feeling good. I'm realizing that, wow, writing goals, being disciplined with them is actually encouraging me inside. Like, yeah, I haven't got, and what it does is it builds momentum, and it builds, it builds muscle, so that, now the Bible says if you're faithful with the small, I can pretty much put more on your plate. And so that concept, once given to me, it wasn't hard for me to grasp. And so now it's just left for me to put it in action. And so what I did was, like I said, I started with the small, and the Lord allowed to continue to start putting more on my plate. The Bible also says, studies or show thyself approved. And so, with that small discipline, building up the momentum, it allowed me, when he put more on my plate, to be able to handle the weight. So that was the one concept I wanted you to learn. Or to grasp and get. The second one had everything to do with self-motivation, self-development. I find out that, self-development and success go hand in hand. They say you got to be mentally rich before you can ever be physically rich. Actually I said that. But I believe it's also true indeed. And it was just confirmation when my mentor started sharing with that, and that you got to start sitting there, find a place where you can encourage yourself. It was once said that the guy had all the gifts in his world, and he was waiting for his brother to turn on the ignition so he can start going. And it's like, what if your brother never showed? You're going to be sitting there with all the gifts but standing still. You got to be at the place where it doesn't matter who's around you, but that you know who you are. You got to find out who you are and be able to encourage yourself. I do believe that that's very important, to encourage yourself and be able. And me, I started reading self-developing books. 2 books that I can tell you, outside of the Bible that changed my life was The Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People. I endorse those books. Read those books. It would change your life. I'm guaranteeing it. You want to start realizing there's going to be a lot of stuff that, you see that you already do, cultivate it, exercise it, apply it. There's going to be new things that trial and error that you're going to sit there and say, okay, and go out and apply it. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And if it works, put it in the journal and write it down. Okay, this works, and keep trying to cultivate that area and never try to keep it up here. This is not the file cabinet. Oh man, I tried to use that for a file cabinet and lost all my files. Write things down. That's another key concept my mentor always told me. Don't trust the mind. You know what I mean? Trust the pad. Write things down. And so the self-encouragement was one that was very big in my life, you know, which allowed me to, you know, venture on and be able to, you know, go into other ventures and other investments. One of the investments is my energy drinks. Yes, I invest these. I endorse all this stuff. I got more, you know, which this is off topic, you know, an excellent source of vitamin C, also vitamin B3, vitamin B5, B6, and B12, which is just great, mango flavor. You know, if you want some of these, I can definitely work out. If you want to start business, you can definitely do that. But what I'm saying is, you know, we also got to go through a test and everything. But what I'm saying is that, you know, it started with the self-developing myself before I realized I can go out there. I needed to be, the self-development also played a part with the self-encouragement. You know what I mean? That I'm able to grasp these new concepts and then trial and error and work on them. Now, lastly and least is to me the most important one out of the top three, which was your attitude. Your attitude, your attitude, your attitude. The attitude has the power to see an opportunity in something or a curse in something. You have that, you know, based on your attitude tells me how the outcome of this situation is going to be. It really does. You know, if you got a negative attitude going in it, I can tell what it's going to be when you're coming out of it, you know. And as I sit around, I see a lot of these successful people, and I see a lot of them have the right attitude. And it says, you know, your attitude determines your latitude. And I believe that as well. I believe, you know, if you go about it at the right attitude, even if the things don't go the way it's supposed to, according to plans or according to where you expected it to go, that with the right attitude, you're able to take the things from that, you know, extract the things that you was able to learn from that and then grow and become a better person. And so that's all in case with the attitude. I done seen a lot of people ruin things overnight based on the attitude. You know, going into it with the wrong attitude, not being able to push their emotions aside and handle business. That's one thing that keeps a lot of people stuck in their position, is the attitude and thinking they know it all, or thinking, you know, I don't want to humble myself, or thinking, you know, that's one thing that really kind of fogs people's vision, or should I say that people allow their emotions and their anger to paint their picture. And you got to say no. You know what I mean? Take the tinsel out of the, you know what I mean, the hands of your anger, and allow your faith to sit there and draw the picture. You know what I mean? So how do you conquer anger and your emotions? You know, you combat it with faith. You know, one thing I learned was that no, you need to starve that. Starve it.